July 14, 1974, Lake Sammamish State Park, Washington State. A hot Sunday afternoon, tens of thousands of people fill the park, swimming, laughing, living an ordinary summer day. Among them is a young man, well-dressed, easy smile. His arm rests in a sling. He approaches several women that afternoon, asking politely for help loading a sailboat. By the end of the day, 2 of them are gone, and the man with the sling simply walks away. His name was Theodore Robert Bundy. For 4 years, he did not hide in the dark. He hid in the daylight behind a face an entire country mistook for harmless. On paper, Ted Bundy was everything a society is taught to trust. A college graduate, a law student, articulate, intelligent, ambitious. He worked at a crisis hotline in Seattle, sitting through the night, talking strangers back from the edge of suicide. And here is a detail that history has never been able to explain away. One of his co-workers at that hotline was a writer named Anne Rule. She sat beside him on those long, quiet shifts. She considered him kind, gentle. Years later, she would write the definitive book about the killer, only slowly realizing that the man she was describing was the same friend who had once walked her to her car in the dark. That is the true horror of Ted Bundy, not a monster in the shadows, a monster who held the door for you, who asked how your day was going and meant none of it. Bundy understood something most predators never grasp. People do not fear those who ask them for help. They fear those who threaten them. So he never threatened anyone. He wore a sling he did not need, a cast on a leg that was not broken. He moved on crutches, dropped an armful of books, fumbled with his keys, and waited for human decency to come to him. It always came. The 2 women taken from Lake Sammamish that July afternoon were named Janice Ott and Denise Naslund. 2 more among many. His car, a plain tan Volkswagen Beetle, had the front passenger seat removed. To anyone passing by, it was nothing, just a student's old car. Ted Bundy did not break into people's lives. He was invited in by their kindness. Decades earlier, a psychiatrist named Hervey Cleckley gave a name to men like Bundy. He called it the Mask of Sanity, a person who can flawlessly imitate human emotion, warmth, sorrow, love, while feeling none of it. They learn to smile the way you smile. They study people the way an actor studies a role. In interviews from death row, Bundy spoke about his crimes with a chilling distance. He did not speak of victims as people. He spoke of them as possessions, things to be owned and then discarded. There was no remorse underneath the mask. No alarm, no guilt, and that is the part that should disturb you most. We are raised to believe evil announces itself, that it looks wrong, sounds wrong, feels wrong. Ted Bundy proved the opposite. Sometimes evil is well-spoken, well-mannered, easy to like, and that is precisely what makes it so dangerous. For years, Bundy moved between states, Washington, Utah, Colorado, Florida, each one chasing what it believed was a separate killer. By the time investigators understood they were all hunting the same man, the scale of it was almost beyond belief. When he was finally arrested, the world expected him to break. He didn't. He escaped custody, not once, twice. In June of 1977, he leapt from a courthouse window in Aspen, Colorado, and vanished into the mountains. He was recaptured. Months later, he escaped again, slipping up through the ceiling of his jail cell and out into the night. And instead of disappearing forever, he traveled to Florida. In January 1978, he attacked a sorority house at Florida State University. 2 young women, Margaret Bowman and Lisa Levy, were killed. Weeks later, his final victim, Kimberly Leach, 12 years old. It was here in Florida that the mask finally began to slip. Bundy's trial became one of the first ever broadcast on national television. He chose to represent himself. He performed for the cameras. He smiled, and impossibly, it still worked. Women sent him letters. Crowds gathered to watch him like a celebrity. Even the judge who sentenced him to death seemed disarmed. He told Bundy he was a bright young man who could have made a fine lawyer, and then, calling him partner, told him to take care of himself. The man condemning him to die still could not fully see through the mask. On January 24, 1989, Ted Bundy was executed. Outside the prison, a crowd had gathered, not to mourn, but to celebrate. They cheered, they lit fireworks, relieved that the smiling man was finally gone. Before the end, he confessed to 30 murders. Most who studied him believe the real number was far higher, secrets he carried with him to the chair. But the question he left behind has never gone away. How do you protect yourself from evil when evil looks exactly like everyone else? The monster we are taught to fear has fangs and lives in the dark. The real one had a kind face, a law degree, and an arm in a sling.